Welcome, brave souls, to Midnight Terror TV, your sanctuary for all things that go bump in the night. If you've found your way here, it means you share our fascination with the shadows, the whispers in the dark, and the stories that keep you awake long after the clock strikes 12. We're about to journey into the deepest, darkest corners of fear, and we don't want you to miss a single chilling moment. So, before we begin, do us a favor. Find that like button and give it a click to show your support. And more importantly, hit that subscribe button and ring the notification bell. That way, you'll be the first to know when a new nightmare is unleashed. By subscribing, you become part of our growing community of thrill seekers. All right, the lights are dimming, and the show is about to start. Are you ready? Let's begin.
The blizzard came out of nowhere, a furious white wall that swallowed the road whole. Dad was gripping the steering wheel, knuckles white, while Mom kept glancing back at me and my little sister, Maya, huddled under a blanket. The car skidded once, twice, and then the engine sputtered and died. We were stranded. Just when the last sliver of hope began to freeze over, a faint light cut through the swirling snow. A hotel sign, flickering like a dying ember. The Haven Wood, it looked ancient, a gothic silhouette against the storm. Dad managed to get us to the lobby, where the air was thick with the smell of dust and something else, something sweet, like decaying flowers. An old man with eyes that seemed too dark for his wrinkled face greeted us. From behind the front desk, caught in the storm, are we? We have rooms, plenty of rooms. His smile didn't reach his eyes. He handed Dad a heavy, ornate brass key, room 237. The elevator groaned and shuddered its way up, the sound like a rusty cage being dragged. The hallways were long and eerily quiet, lined with peeling floral wallpaper that seemed to watch us. Our room was large and cold. Despite the rattling radiator, Maya, ever the explorer, immediately ran to the closet to play hide-and-seek. I was too unsettled. I peeked through the keyhole of the adjoining room's door. Just out of curiosity, I saw a flash of movement, a woman in a white dress, her back to me, staring at the wall. I blinked, and she was gone. Later that night, I was jolted awake by a sound, a soft, rhythmic thudding coming from the hallway. Thud, 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 like a child bouncing a ball. I crept to the door and looked through the peephole. A little boy in old-fashioned clothes stood at the far end of the hall, slowly bouncing a red rubber ball. He stopped, turned his head, and looked directly at me. His eyes were completely black, just empty sockets. I stumbled back, my heart hammering against my ribs. I tried to tell my parents, but they just said it was a nightmare, that the storm was making us all jumpy. But I knew what I saw. The next day, the storm raged on, trapping us inside. Maya started talking about her new friend, Lily. She said Lily lived in the walls and liked to sing sad songs. Mom and Dad thought it was just her imagination, but when I heard a faint, sorrowful humming coming from the vents in our room, a cold dread washed over me. While exploring, I found a grand ballroom on the ground floor, covered in dusty sheets. In the center was a grand piano. The keys were yellowed with age, but as I got closer, a single, mournful note played on its own. I ran past portraits on the wall, whose eyes seemed to follow me, past mirrors that showed distorted, grainy reflections in my peripheral vision. That night was when the true horror began. The clock in the lobby chimed 3 times, a deep, resonant bell that seemed to shake the very foundations of the hotel. The witching hour. A guttural growl echoed up from below, from the basement. The lights flickered and died, plunging us into absolute darkness. The air grew frigid, and the sweet smell of decay intensified. Now mixed with something metallic and coppery, Maya started screaming. Mom and Dad rushed to her side, but she wasn't pointing at the dark corners of the room. She was pointing at the closet. The door was creaking open, inch by inch. From within the darkness, I saw it. A hand, not human. It was long, with spindly, claw-like fingers, covered in what looked like matted black fur. It reached out, beckoning. Dad slammed the closet door shut and barricaded it with a heavy dresser. But the scratching started, first from the closet, then from the walls all around us. And the growls, they were closer now, coming from the hallway. Just outside our door, the thudding of the little boy's ball started again, faster this time, a frantic, angry rhythm. Whispers slithered through the keyhole, ancient words in a language I didn't understand, but whose malice I felt in my soul. We heard the door to the room across the hall burst open, a blood-curdling scream, then silence. The scratching at our door grew more frenzied. The wood began to splinter. Dad grabbed a heavy lamp, standing between us and the door, his face a mask of terror. Mom held me and Maya, whispering that it would be okay, but her voice was trembling. Then, the doorknob began to turn, slowly, deliberately, from the other side. A low chuckle rumbled, a sound that wasn't born of any human throat. It was the sound of pure, ancient evil that had been waiting in the dark for a very, very long time. The lock clicked. The door began to swing open. The Havenwood wasn't a shelter. It was a trap. And the things that roamed its halls, the demonic creatures that slithered from its basement, were hungry. They were finally coming out to feed. The last thing I saw before the darkness consumed everything was a pair of glowing red eyes in the doorway and a smile full of way too many teeth.